It's now 5:30 in the afternoon on a Friday. The sun is shining. There's plenty of light. Things are just zipping and going along. I feel like singing zippity zoodah, zippity yay, my oh my, what a wonderful day. And I got a lot of good stuff going my way, and I hope you do too. But it's always a pleasure, and I thank you very much for tuning in. I have had just a glorious week. It's been a wonderful week. We celebrated the 10th year anniversary of the Second Chance Act, my Second Chance Act that was passed 10 years ago. And I, along with a number of other people, were given some acknowledgments and awards from the Council of Governments. And so it's been 10 years, millions and millions and millions of dollars of public resources coming from the federal government have been allocated and used to assist people with reentry. And so we're pretty happy about that. We actually got an increase in the omnibus, and this year we've appropriated $93 million for the reentry grants. Now, reentry is much more than just grant money that comes from the federal government. There are people, programs, and places all over the United States of America where people are doing reentry. Prison Fellowship is a big advocacy group of reentry. The Safer Foundation, for example, is a big reentry organization. And quite frankly, they are having, I think, their big gala next Friday night. And that's going to be, well, I think it's May the 4th, not next week. That'll probably be the next week. So we're pretty excited about things that have been happening, things that have been taking place. Several states using reentry money have reduced recidivism in their state tremendously. Unfortunately, Illinois is not one of the top states in terms of recidivism reduction, but we've had some good programs in Illinois. We're doing good work in Illinois. The Illinois Department of Corrections is doing good work. We are excited because as we get close to Father's Day every year, for the last several years now, I've taken a busload, sometimes 2 busloads of children to see their fathers who are in the penitentiary. And so if there are individuals who have fathers, and of course children can't generally do this, but their parents can, and their mother can, or the significant other of the men who are incarcerated, we go generally each year just before, the week before Father's Day. And sometimes we've gone the Saturday before Father's Day. And we take children to see their fathers who are incarcerated as a part of our reentry work. Can you imagine what it's like to have not seen your father in such a long period of time that you wouldn't know him when you see him? We had a father and son year before last now who didn't recognize each other. And once they did, it was just a joyous. They hadn't seen each other in 8 years. And so they both had changed a great deal. So it's something that we're looking forward to. We are indeed excited because we got a fairly decent piece of money for a number of things as we did the omnibus. We got a $300 million increase for Title 1A. We got a $700 million increase for student support, for academic enrichment grants. We got a $20 million increase for after-school programs. We got a $15.1 million increase for Title IV. We got a $275 million increase for IDEA. We got a $2.3 million to support teacher professional development. So we got a little more money with which to operate, and we are indeed pleased to know that. I mention that because I've spent a great deal of time this week dealing with education. And we had a great meeting today out in Bellwood, Illinois this morning with the superintendents and some board members and some support staff of the suburban school districts that are a part of my congressional district. We had a wonderful time, just a great discussion, and so I want to thank all of the superintendents who were there. Of course, this is a Chicago program, so they don't necessarily get this information that I'm talking about right now. They're not watching this show because this is in Chicago. But it's good to be here and good to know that all of you are out there watching. A lot of things are going on in Chicago. People are announcing that they're running for mayor and all those kind of things. And maybe we don't do partisan politics, and so this is not partisan politics. It's just a matter of asking questions. There are a bunch of people who've already indicated that they're running for mayor. There are some people who've announced, others have not, and people are announcing every day. Let me ask our audience this afternoon, is there anybody that has announced that you think you might be voting for? Or have you not really made up your mind yet who you're going to support for mayor in the election that's coming up next year? Personally, for me, I think it's kind of early, a little bit. I'm trying to get the governor elected, some governor, and all of that. So I ain't there yet. But if you've got somebody that, you are going to do, let us know. I got a caller on the line, so let me see what this caller has to say. Caller, are you there?
Yeah, how you doing, Cody Davis?
James, I am good. How are you?
Okay, first of all, I want to give my condolences to Barbara Bush. The Bush family. But Cody Davis.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, between Gary McCarthy and Dorothy Brown, I think they might be the one trying to get in to be mayor. Because they seem like they want Rob Manuel out. And they want Eddie Johnson. Okay, what I'm trying to say, Cody Davis, my condolences go to the Bush family.
Well, I have expressed condolences to the Bush family and actually signed a book in the cloakroom. And I said of Mrs. Bush that she was a grand lady who represented her position well. She was also an advocate for causes, and I certainly wanted to express condolences to her family. And of course, it was President Bush, not her husband, but her
I mean,
son,
I'm sorry,
who
Congressman Davis, I'm sorry.
signed the Second Chance Act, which is my bill that I was talking about not long ago, and I will always be appreciative and grateful for that.
And then my second question, it seems like Gary McCarthy and Dorothy Brown, it seems like they want Rob Manuel and Eddie Johnson out.
So you like Dorothy Brown, right?
Yeah.
And Gary McCarthy.
Yeah, cause they getting tired. Cause I think they getting tired of all this taking up for the police and stuff. And then too much killing in Chicago. And Donald Trump, he ain't doing no good.
All right. So you're saying that if people are kind of into changing the police, that you would be more for them than you
Yes.
would for other people who would
Yes.
maintain the status quo relative to law enforcement.
That's what I'm trying to say, Connie Davis.
All right, sounds good to
Y'all have a good
me.
weekend, Connie Davis.
Well, you too, and I'm looking forward to it, and thank you so much, and
Okay,
please make sure you call us next week.
Okay.
All right, we'll go to our next caller if we've got one. If not, I got a whole bunch of information to keep on providing here. We got a good bunch of money for career and technical education, $1.2 billion, which was a $75 million increase above the FY17 level. So what we're really saying is that all of these are appropriations for the federal government, some of which are more than we got the last year. And anytime we were able to get any increases, for example, we got $1 million for the TRIO program. A lot of kids are getting ready now to go to college, they're graduating, and so we got $1 billion for TRIO, which was a $60 million increase. We got $350 million for Gear Up, which was a $10.2 million increase. We got $840 million, which was a $106.8 million increase for a program that both Trump and DeVos had talked about eliminating. So we got $1.1 billion for a federal work study for kids who are going to college. So we're feeling good about all of that. Caller, are you there? Yes, caller, are you there?
Yes, Congressman. How you doing today?
I'm doing good.
And it's a great day. I mean, a great day to be on God's green earth today. Congressman, I got a quick comment and a quick question to ask you. Me personally, I don't see none of the candidates that's trying to take that office don't have a chance. I just don't see it. I really don't. I don't see McCarthy. Hell, he couldn't get the police department to follow behind him. But personally, I just don't see no one that's going to beat our mayor right now. That's just my personal belief.
Do you think there's anybody else that may throw their hat in who have not done so?
That has a chance to make a run at it?
Yeah.
You? Only you, but I don't think you want that job.
I think I'm going to take a pass.
Yeah, we like you just where you at. And listen, the question that I want to ask, I don't know. People don't really realize how strong you are and how you help so many people. There's talk about Haymarket. I heard there's a possibility they about to move them out for Sangamon. Now, I remember when Oprah, she was having, and you wouldn't remember that, she was having problems. She was trying to get it out. I just can't believe that Haymarket will leave that spot. And I know you support Haymarket. And that's a wonderful thing about you, that you really care about people. And just like you said, that's part of that second chance. Everybody deserves a second chance. So the thing what I'm saying is this. I understand there used to be Skid Row over there. I
It
remember
sure
that.
did. You
When
remember
I was a
Skid
kid,
Row?
yes, I
Father
remember
Mac
that.
walking up and down the street giving
Trying to
out
help people.
coffee and sandwiches to
Mm,
derelicts, as people would
mm.
call them.
Now look, now they talking about, look at it now. Now you got places $1 million for condos down there.
You're right.
you know. So I wonder, is it just got to a point where people don't want to be next to people? Again, I'm a firm believer. Everybody on God's green earth has a story. Everybody want to look down on people. Sometimes you don't never look down. You need to look up, and you might could get something. So I want to know, is it true, or have you heard this rumor also? Listen, Congressman, let me get out the air because I really want to hear
Well,
your
let me just
response.
say, let me tell you that people are always prepared to purchase property
Mm-hmm.
and do things with it that can increase the value and increase their return on investments. But actually, we are going to have a person from Haymarket come to Washington next week and testify at one of the hearings about substance abuse and helping people who need help. So I don't think Haymarket is about to be moved or is about to leave, although that is very valuable real estate now.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And they said the only thing what they were trying to do was to put more parking. I know 2 blocks east of it, there's parking. Then, north they made that parking. I know it's an income property. Yes, it is. But one other thing, that's a national monument to a many people. And again, I know without you, it would have been gone. I know they had cut back the lobbying people down in Springfield, but again, it's for people such as you that God put you in those places where you could have a say-so. And again, I really appreciate you. You don't look down at people. You always try to help. I mean, that west side, they need to make a monument just like they put Jordan over there in at the center. They need to put a monument for you for that whole entire west side, and they need to thank you for. People just really don't realize what you do. Listen, I don't want to hog up the show, but again, I want to thank you, and I know what you do. So you just keep on doing what you're doing, and have a great weekend and a safe weekend. And thanks for taking the call.
Thank you very much. We really appreciate your kindness and your comments. We were ready to try to get a congressional medal for Father Mac before he died, but he died before we could get it done. But yeah, Haymarket has done great work, continues to do great work, and we're going to try to keep them there for as long as we can make sure that they are still there. So we thank you. As a matter of fact, there's a tremendous need for the kind of services that Haymarket provides. And we've got this opioid crisis, and people are just still ODing. They are still in need of counseling. They're in need of prevention help. They are in need of everything that we can provide along those lines. And so we're going to try and provide as much assistance to Haymarket and other agencies and programs like Haymarket because they mean so much to the large number of people who are in need of help. So thank you for your call. You know, I visited with Mayor Andre Harvey out in Bellwood yesterday. I also want to just give a shout out to the By the Hand Club, who had their 13th annual spring benefit at Navy Pier last night. I had wanted to be there, but I wasn't able to because there was something else that I just needed to do. One thing that I needed to do, actually, my wife had surgery on yesterday, and so I just went on home after I finished my work in my office, and we had a very good day at the office. I just met with some people not long ago talking about fire protection and the problems that people have and the fact that there are African Americans trying to get into that business, and that somebody was telling me that they had an apprenticeship class and they thought that there was about 100 plus individuals in the class, but only 2 African Americans. That's something we're going to be exploring a great deal over the next few weeks, is the whole business of African Americans and the building trades, and how difficult it may still be for African Americans to get into some of them. There are some unions that are just great. There are other unions that are not so great. And we're going to be talking about that a great deal. I'm going to be wrapping up here in about 2 minutes, and then I'll be able to get back to our state representative, to the recorder of deeds, Karen Yarbrough. And so I'll do that in about 2 minutes because I'll have to get out of Dodge at 5:55. And so I'll be right there in a minute. It's always good on a Friday to be here because you get a chance to listen and hear. I was with a group of young people earlier, and they were asking, what does it take to really be an elected official? And they were a little surprised when I said, you got to learn to listen. Because if you listen to what people are telling you and what people are saying, then you know better how to try and represent them. If you're not listening, there might be things that you need to hear, but you're not hearing because you've just got your own thoughts. But I guarantee you, if you listen to the people and then follow what the people are recommending and suggesting, you can be a very effective elected official, and you will do extremely well. Well, it's been a great afternoon. It's been a wonderful week. We're getting ready to just get on out of Dodge. But I tell you what, until next week, do something good for somebody else. And when you do, you'll be doing good for yourself. Thank you for calling. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And we'll see you next week.